Imagine getting up every day full of energy as if you were in your 20s again. What would that be like? What would it be worth to you? What is your health worth to you? Think about it. Your health isn't everything, but without it, everything else is nothing. And yet, too many of us are taking it for granted until something goes wrong. And no one wakes up hoping to be diagnosed with a disease or chronic illness. And yet, we've never been taught how to be proactive in our health through our school or public health. As a registered health coach and integrative health practitioner, I believe it's time this information is made available to everyone. Combining new knowledge around your health and the ability to do my functional medicine lab tests in the comfort of your own home will allow you to optimize your health for today and all your tomorrows. Don't wait for your wake-up call.
Welcome back to another episode of the Don't Wait for Your Wake Up Call podcast. I am Melissa Deely, your host. This is a special Podapalooza episode, and today with me I have Christine Lauer. Welcome to the show, Christine.
Thank you for having me.
I am very excited to talk with you today. Christine helps people struggling with allergies and sensitivities who are tired of managing symptoms without real answers. Inspired by her husband's severe seasonal allergies and her daughter's eczema, she has spent over 20 years helping people find relief without shots or endless medications. Her work focuses on understanding and reducing inflammation using at-home dry blood spot testing along with bioenergetics and gentle cold laser acupuncture to support the body's ability to heal itself. And I love what you say there because as an integrative health practitioner, I fully appreciate the body's ability to heal itself. And as a society, we've become very accustomed to a pill for every ill or, a shot for everything, etc. And that doesn't have to be the only answers. There's more than one way for the body to heal. And so talk to me about, helping your daughter through her eczema and helping your husband through his seasonal allergies and how they're doing today as a result of what you've learned.
Okay, so yeah, I started doing this 20 years ago. And just to give you a little bit of context, my daughter is going to be 30 this year.
Okay.
So she was an infant, and I was completely clueless, for lack of a better word. She was doing fine, everything was good. Then suddenly, eczema crept up. She was scratching her arms, her legs, till they were bleeding, face red. I was in a state of panic all the time because I didn't know what to do anymore. I had the traditional change your laundry detergent, here's the cream, switch to this formula, and nothing worked. And at one point, when she became 1 year of age, everything disappeared and everything cleared up. And I hadn't made the connection then. I was just glad that, oh, she's good. All right, carry
That's
on.
behind us. Yay, move forward, right? New mom.
And oh my goodness. And when my daughter started getting into like preschool and everything else, I had met another mother, and I was starting to learn just a little bit about natural health,
Right.
mainly omegas.
Yes.
And oh, they're essential. Oh, where do you find out this information? Well, there's actually a nutrition school. There's a what? and and I went in there, and once I went in, I realized, okay, I wasn't eating as well as I thought I was. And then all the pieces were put together. It was okay. So the formula I was giving my daughter put her into overload, and then it was okay. What I was eating was also transferring to her, and a couple of other, I guess, medical things that we had done that you traditionally think have to be done,
Yes.
was also a factor. And I learned so much from that. And when I was taking the nutrition school, you find out all these different things. And that's where I learned about muscle testing and
Hmm.
biofeedback. And oh my gosh, this is fascinating. And that just took me on a trajectory. And when I was partly through the program, I started to learn and put everything together and realized bioenergetics, and you can, like, everything is energy.
Yes.
And with my daughter, she was okay at that point for the eczema, but then it came back. It was starting to come back behind her legs, and I thought, oh no, not again. And I kind of paused for a bit, and I thought, okay, wait a minute. I know my things now. There's
Hmm.
things I can do.
Right.
And so I literally was using bioenergetics, and I was already eating cleaner as a family, and everything cleared up and went away. And then my husband had allergies since he was 14 years of age, pollen. And I thought, okay, you'll be client number two. let's let's see how this works for you. And knock on wood, he was fine ever since. And
Wow.
he was debilitating. Like, he literally couldn't function, need to take a pill, made him drowsy, done for the day kind of
Right.
reaction.
Right.
And it still fascinates me now when I have a client and I work on them and they say, oh, I'm fine now. I can eat this now. Or I can go outside and I'm okay with my pet. And I'm literally just taking the frequency, or I call it the fingerprint,
Hmm.
what they're reacting to, and sending it through their body using the laser acupuncture.
Right.
And then the body recalibrates and starts to recognize the substance again. And then they're okay. And it's like, this is the coolest thing ever, you know? So I was so fortunate to be able to have stumbled on that
Yes.
and to be taken on that kind of trajectory. And then taking what I was learning initially about the omegas and doing, because some people are very skeptical for different things. And the dry blood spot testing actually gives you something that you can actually see on a piece
Yes.
of paper, and it
Yes.
measures your inflammation in the body,
Yes.
and it specifically targets your cells and your blood cells and the fatty acids. And you can see, okay, this is a marker for this, and let's do this. And then you test again and there's a shift. And so that's basically what I've been doing. And
I love that you're doing that. And, as an integrative health practitioner, I know exactly what you're talking about and the importance of omega-3s in today's world. 80% of the globe is deficient in omega-3s because omega-6s are in everything. And the
yeah,
body always wants to be in balance, as you know. And because omega-6s are in everything, we need more omega-3s than ever in order to have the right ratio.
yeah,
Back in our hunter-gatherer days, their diet allowed the ratio was 3 omega-6s to 1 omega-3.
yes,
Today, we say ideal is 5 to 1. However, the average North American is 18 to 1. So we have to
yeah,
boost our omega-3s to bring the body back into balance. And guess what? You know this. Our body doesn't make these. So the only way to do it is to get it through supplementation or our food, and the best source of food is wild fatty fish.
yeah,
And if we're not
yeah,
eating enough wild fatty fish, like 4 times a day, we are going to be deficient. So I love
yeah,
you're talking about this because it's a big conversation I have as well. It's so
yeah.
important for people to understand.
And and the really scary part is a lot of the omega supplements out there don't even work.
Mm. That's true
And
of
the
any
only,
supplement. It depends on the company that you're buying the supplement
yeah,
from and their purpose behind making the supplement. Is it for profit or is it for to support human health? And I find it's the naturopathic doctors that are making supplements and that are putting the quality into them versus,
yeah,
the big corporations that are just, they know people will buy it and there's not even enough good quality ingredient in the supplement itself to make a difference.
And that's where I find doing that dry blood spot testing comes
Yes.
in, because I have had people come back 36 to 1,
Wow.
40, 47 to 1.
Wow.
Oh, I'm taking a really good, and I have to say this, a vegan formula.
Yes. Well,
We can't convert them. We really don't
exactly.
convert them.
We don't convert it well, and you need so much
Yeah.
power for the body to be able to do anything with.
And I have fellow nutritionists, and they'll do the test and they'll say, "Oh, maybe I just wasn't taking enough." Well, how long are you taking them for? Well, I've
Yeah.
been taking them for years. Okay, so if you've been taking them for years, it should have absorbed by now.
Yes.
So taking more of something that isn't helping you is not going to help you.
Right. Agreed.
Oh, and
So yes,
yeah,
it is about the quality, and so lovely that you can help guide people to the products that actually work versus just buying what looks good on the supermarket shelf.
yeah, yeah.
So it was the solution for your daughter and your husband omega 3s, or was there more? It was the omega 3s and the laser acupuncture helping the body to come back into balance so that it could heal itself. Is that right?
So back then, with the limited knowledge of the omegas, and there wasn't any type of spot testing available, right? So you didn't even know. Back then, you didn't
Right.
even know.
Right.
So the big thing that really made the difference was the laser acupuncture. When you're dealing strictly with energy and you understand the concept of energy, what you think about, you bring about, and if the body's not recognizing something, you tell it what it is and it just knows. That was the big thing then. But at this same time, I'd also done a huge change in diet. And I'm not the type of person who can just do small changes at once. When I got into the nutrition, okay, tomorrow, change everything. You know, why do baby steps? I literally went into overdrive. So, you take out the dairy, you take out the refined sugars, you start to eat clean and eat the good things. And even the knowledge from that has changed over the years. When I was first starting doing like the muscle testing, I had all my little samples for testing people. No one was talking about coconut oil back then. No one was
Right.
talking about chia seeds or any of that stuff. And things kept evolving. And I've just accumulated this huge base of things that I can test now over the years. And of course, you can get energetic vials as well. And trying to teach people how they can test themselves. That's, I think, a big step. If it's empowering.
I was just going to say exactly that, that people can learn to do this for themselves so that they are not always reliant on someone else and they can
Mhm.
understand their own deficiencies. And let's face it, it's no one's fault that they're deficient. We've all, grown up and been taught to eat the way that we were taught through our own family upbringing, and our soils are deficient. So it's much harder to get the nutrition today than it was 100 years ago. And therefore, it requires more knowledge in order to navigate. And I love how you are empowering people to have that knowledge to then be able to share for themselves, their family, their friends.
And, I remember when I was in high school going to the grocery store with my mother, and for the first time seeing it was orange cauliflower, Rocco flower, whatever. And I remember thinking, I don't remember this ever being this color. And it was kind of like my body or my intuition or whatever at the time was saying, no, 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 this isn't, this isn't normal. um, and now you see all that stuff all the time. And I still to this day have so many clients that don't understand what genetically modified
Right.
is.
Yes.
And I literally have to explain it to them, and how the glyphosate gets into
Food.
that food, or
Yes.
frankenfood, whatever,
Yes.
and the impact of all of that.
Yes. Into the food and then into our bodies.
Yeah.
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 And into our gut, and it damages our gut. And 70% of our immune system is housed in the gut. Therefore, our immune system is weakened, and thus starts that steady cycle towards sickness or dis-ease.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, our sick care model is based on, well, let's give you a pill. The belief that there's a pill for every ill, which you and I both know is not the answer. Perhaps for something acute, however, definitely not for our long-term chronic illnesses.
Yeah. Like everything has its place,
Exactly.
Um, I went through a lot of stuff with my mother last year, and she would have been 99 this year.
Oh, so she lived a lovely long life.
She did, yes. And she had ended up in the hospital, and so many things happened there that shouldn't have happened. And the system is kind of messed up, but you don't realize how severely until you're in it and you see what's happening.
Right.
And there are so many factors. There's the fact that people are trained in certain areas, so they don't know the other
We
side of
don't have the
things.
big picture. Yes.
And I also have siblings who didn't understand that you were allowed to say no to a
Right.
medication.
Right.
Um, my mom being, almost 98 when she passed, they didn't need to do what they did to her. Like her body, her tiny little frame just couldn't handle that. She didn't need it, right?
Right.
Um, and so my family already knows. They say, okay, if the same thing happens to me and I injure myself and I need surgery, just arrange at home recovery care
Yes.
going forward. So everything is a learning
Yes.
experience.
It's so true. And I teach that in my work as well, is that everything is happening for you to learn something.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
when we learn the thing, we can look back on whatever event that it was with gratitude. No matter how awful it was in the moment, we can
Hmm.
look back on it with gratitude.
And there's so many tools, like from homeopathics to energy medicine to nutrition to everything is coming out now. There's um, red light therapy. There's PEMF.
I have my cat on my red light therapy mat next to me right now. She's a 14-year-old cat, and
Oh,
her vision is perfect. Her hearing is perfect. Her coat is so soft and beautiful.
yes.
And she had to have some dental surgery last year, and because she was older, I was a bit worried about it. So ever since then, I've just every time she comes and sits on the chair next to me, I turn on my red light mat. I've just put it there for her. And because there are so many modalities, and where we can literally support our body in healing itself. So I love that you do this work, that you educate on this. And can you, I know you helped your husband and your daughter. Can you share a story of a client without naming names that, for you, you're a really proud moment of helping that person navigate their journey back to health?
Oh, there's so many.
I know it's been
Um,
20 years of doing this work. I thought maybe you'd have a couple of standout ones.
there's one that really stood out. It was a 10-year-old boy, and you have to think outside of the box on this one a little bit, but he was having warts that were growing on his fingertips, on his feet, and he had one coming on his face,
Hmm.
and he was being teased a lot at school.
Right.
And for whatever reason, this person decided to come to me with the son. And I used a combination of traditional acupuncture, but
Hmm.
still just with laser,
Right.
sending through my laser the fingerprints or the frequencies of what causes the warts, because warts come from a virus, right?
Right.
And she had messaged me saying they all started to turn black and fell off.
Nice.
And she said he went to school, the kids were starting to bug him again, and he was at school going, look, 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 they're gone, they're gone.
Right. Love that. Because,
Yeah,
you're not only helping him with his health, you're helping him with his self-confidence, which leads to his mental health and his own happiness and joy, et cetera, et cetera. So, when we can do
yeah.
that for a child, that's incredible. So I love that. Thank you. Thank you for the work that you do. Christine, I love to ask everybody that comes on this show, what does "don't wait for your wake up call" mean to you?
For me, it's all about you. You're given one body, right? You can't trade it in for a new one like you can your car or anything else. So take care of it while you can
Yes,
so that you don't have to take care of it or try to repair it later.
I
It's
love
much harder to go backwards
yeah.
than it is the other way.
I love that. It's so true. And I share the same belief with you. And we're so quick to look after our cars, that engine light comes on, or we take the car in for, its annual tune-up, et cetera, et cetera. And we forget to do that for our own
Mhm.
body and take that preventative care and check in with ourselves and do our own tune-ups because we absolutely can. So love that. So if somebody needs your support, wants to reach out to you, how do they get hold of you, Christine?
Well, they can easily find me at noallergiesplease.com. And, if they wanted more information, for instance, on the blood spot testing, they can connect with me through there. And I even have a little website called the omegacoach.com, and they can find out more information along those sides too.
Beautiful. Well, thank you very much. I will make sure those are in the show notes. And as we wrap this episode, are there any last words of wisdom you would like to share with the audience?
Oh boy. I would say, and I get myself like this too sometimes, whenever you've got that little monkey on your shoulder that's giving you some negative thought or some doubt, flick them off.
Love that. That is
Yeah.
awesome. Very sage advice. Trust our intuition, in other words.
Yeah.
Get rid of the monkey voices in our head and go into our body and trust our intuition. So
Mhm.
beautiful. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, sharing your wisdom and your experience, Christine. I'm sure there are listeners that would love to learn more because, of course, there are so many people struggling with allergies out there in the world today because the world is too toxic, more toxic than what our human body is designed to handle, that is for sure. And thank you to my audience for being here each and every week, tuning in to learn more about your physical health, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, and being able to move from Victim Island to Solution City in your journey and living your best life. Your unconscious mind is powerful. It's the other 90% of your mind, and yet you're not even taught about it at school. What if you could access the other 90%? It would be like driving the highway in sixth gear instead of first gear. That's what you're doing when you only know the tools of the conscious mind, the 10%. You're going through life in first gear. Are you ready to ramp up and go through life in sixth gear? Learn the powerful tools of your unconscious mind, healing trauma, clearing anxiety in minutes rather than weeks, months, and years? Join our next Meet Your Unconscious Mind workshop so that you can start to learn the power that you already hold within and the tools to access it. Look for the link to register in the show notes.